open meeting?
Yes.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. This is the Sycamore Township Year Part JEDZ Board meeting, Tuesday, June 6th, 3:45 p.m. First order of business is the approval of March meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review those, and are there any questions? No comments or questions?
I move we approve the minutes from the March 7th, 2023 JEDD meeting.
So moved. Second. Thank you. Take a vote.
Mr. Camp,
Yes.
Mr. James,
Yes.
Mr. Fisera.
Yes. Okay. Second item of business is the district update. Who might be providing that? Okay.
Well, as of right now, we got like
Can you come to the microphone, BJ, so we can record it?
Sure. As of right now, we have not collected any money off the JEDD. We've been in contact with the proprietor of the hotel. We do have all their stuff ready to go once they start occupying the structure. There's been a lot of confusion. We have directed them to not only Sycamore's webpage, but to ours in regards to rate of income tax on that property. So for the employees. So I think we got that all managed and accounted for. We did talk to the contractors, and to be honest with you, Greg, we had no success in collecting anything off the contractors working. So we submitted them. I visited them numerous times, handed them the sheets to tell them to fill them out, and we never got anything in return. So wait.
As the master developer, we sold that parcel to Corporex.
Yep.
The GC is employed by Corporex. We don't have any input with respect to them, but I will tell you that they are having some issues.
I can see
in terms of
why.
construction timing for that project. So that may be why you're not getting a
We've
call.
sent Corporex, and we did send it stuff to Corporex, just to let you know.
Okay.
So, I'm not gonna leave any stone unturned unless, we all need a return on the investment, and that's where it's at. So,
Sure. So my recommendation would be that you maybe go back to Corporex. The two guys that were kind of running that initiative have since left.
Okay,
So right now, the only person that we have as a contact is Tom Banta.
Tom, what?
Banta, Banta. He's actually the CEO or COO. But his
Okay,
two
Tom
senior
will call.
guys have left, so he's in a bind right now.
All right, I'll give him a shout.
Because where would we go from here? I mean, they can't just not do anything.
No, they gotta do something.
Yeah.
So tell them, we need an accounting of the payroll and everything else. We sent them everything, and then we've talked to them numerous times. So unfortunately, if he's going through some transitions, it's laying on somebody's desk and then do anything. We could all use the money.
So what is the remedy though, if they keep sitting in this space?
Well, if that's the case, then I think the township and the city needs to get together and file some sort of action against them.
Yeah, and who would be the plaintiff in that? Because
I would think you would.
Well, Deer Parks.
It would have to
actually
be Deer
enforces it,
Park, I
doesn't it?
believe, because we don't have the jurisdiction
Right.
over income tax.
But we're actually collecting it on your behalf. So I think that's where both communities have to come together and say, okay, we might be the tax collector, but we're doing it on behalf of Sycamore.
Right. In terms of footing the bill, it might be Sycamore who bears the legal expenses or
Right.
the JEDD itself somehow, but the proper legal plaintiff might be the city of Deer Park in that instance, because it has the tax enforcement authority. So we'd have to work together on that, of course.
I'll talk to our attorney tomorrow, Brian Pacheco, and tell him what we need to do.
Are the revenues being accounted for with respect to the employees at the multifamily?
We don't have anything on the multi.
Oh, that's right. It's only commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right,
it's not
right.
that, no. We'd love to have it, but we don't have it.
I forgot, it's only commercial. So I guess
one of the things to consider would be if there's a legal action versus what the actual revenue generation would be from the construction employment income. One might far outweigh the other. So we ought to take a close look at that, I guess.
Well, what I suggest is I'll get a hold of our attorney and we'll talk about this and see where we want to go with this. Yeah, it's crazy with these contractors because I told them, I says, you got a lot of 1099 guys here. I says, I said, do we have to go after each one of them? I said, they're working for you. You hired them to be here. So there should be some sort of remedy that way too. Other than that, I have nothing else to report. We're waiting for the hotel to start and ready to go.
And Brian can contact Larry.
Yeah.
They can work it out.
Okay.
Or Katie.
Who wants it?
Any other input with respect to the district itself and where the JED stands? We don't have any operating costs as of yet, right?
Correct. We have insurance.
What's that annual premium or what was it? Because I'm sure it's not the same today.
2,500, something like that. Somewhere in that ballpark,
Okay.
2,500.
We have funding in the JEDD funds to pay that, or are we paying that from
We're
inside?
paying that from the township.
Okay. Next item of business is date for the next meeting. Do you have that, Tracy?
Yes, so we have already scheduled these dates out in advance, and we scheduled this for September 6th. But with that being the day after Labor Day and the fact that we will not have a quorum because there will be people out of town, we'd like to move that to August 29th, which is the Tuesday before. I should say it was scheduled for the 5th, I believe, yeah. So the 29th.
So August 29th will be the next date.
Yeah, at the same time.
Do we need a motion to
We would
approve
need a
that?
motion to change that. yes.
Okay, so
I move we set our next meeting date of the Sycamore Township Deer Park JEDD Board to August 29th at 3:45 PM.
Second.
thank you. Mr. Keller?
Mr. Camp,
Yes.
Mr. James,
Yes,
Mr. Fusaro.
Yes.
I will note there is some chance I may not be able to be there then. Or otherwise.
Okay, any other input, questions, comments? Anyone?
I'll bring up something I think you and I talked about before. I understand there may be a plan to put an additional residential property, if those plans come to fruition, within the boundaries of the existing JEDD. The apartments, of course, are not in that, and the township typically doesn't include people in the tax zone just for the privilege of living there. They need to be working. We may need to look in the future at whether there could be a 3D JEDD. So we don't end up inadvertently taxing people who might be living over a business. So we should keep it on our radar
Yeah.
anyway.
We talked about that.
You and I
before,
did, yeah. Yeah. So if that comes to pass.
Yeah, I think the plan right now is for a mixed-use building, but it will be primarily multifamily. And again, our interest is to try to get something going there. And frankly, I don't know, a bank in the country who would finance an office building and today, and that might not change in 5 or 10 years. We obviously don't want to sit with a hole in the ground for that long a period of time. So we will be coming before the township in the next couple of weeks to discuss that.
And Katie, you or Larry could start looking at whether that's even possible or if there's some other thing we can do. So if this comes to pass, we don't end up taxing residents and not being able to rebate it to them.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Mr. Kellogg?
Mr. Camp,
Aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Mr. Fisera.
Aye. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
It's 4 o'clock on Tuesday, June 6th. I'd like to call the Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood Northwest meeting to order. Do we need to have a roll call, Tracy, or are we good?
We should do a roll call.
Okay, let's do a roll call.
Mr. Camp,
Here.
Ms. Schwagman,
Here.
Mr. James.
Here.
Mr. Weedman. Absent. Mr. Yetter.
Here.
Ms. Hedger. Also absent. So we do have a quorum.
Okay. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the March 7th, 2023 meeting.
I move we approve the March 7th, 2023 meeting minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Kellum, would you call the roll?
Mr. Camp,
Yes.
Ms. Schwagman.
Yes.
Mr. James.
Aye.
Mr. Yetter.
Okay, thank you. Next item is a district update.
You received the update from Jets with you all. One thing on the spreadsheet, you'll see that you were down 30,000. That is basically because of Jewish Hospital, the way they do the money for the payroll account. So next month, you'll see it uptick and in that category. But overall for the year, your percentage change is 2%. We're not doing bad, it's just, it's how the payroll cycle gets.
Any questions?
No. In our prior meeting, we were talking about construction of the JEDD, and I guess there's construction going on now just south of the JEDD in the retail center there too, to rework it. Are we getting income taxes from those guys working in there now too?
Yeah, that could be a question. I've investigated tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Next item on the agenda is the date of the next meeting.
So the same as with the JEDD, this was set for the day after Labor Day. We would like to change this to August 29th, also at 4 p.m.
I
If we
move
get a
we-
motion for that.
I move we set the next meeting for August 29th at 4 p.m.
That's second.
Mr. Kellums.
Mr. Camp,
Yes.
Ms. Schwagman,
Aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Mr. Yetter.
Okay. Anything else for the good of the order?
We adjourn.
Second.
Tom? Okay,
Mr. Camp,
Yes.
Ms. Schwagman,
Aye.
Mr. James.
Aye.
Mr. Yetter.
All right, it is 4:05 p.m. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
His meeting just wait.
Yeah.
It's 4:15 on Tuesday, June 6, 2023. I would like to call the Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood Southwest meeting to order, please. Mr. Kellums, would you call the roll?
Mr. Weedman. Mr. Muthing,
Here.
Ms. Schwagman,
Here.
Mr. James.
Here.
Mr. Larmer,
Here.
Mr. Rosen.
Here.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the March 7th, 2023 meeting.
I move we approve the minutes from March 7th, 2023. Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Kellums.
Mr. Muthing,
Yes.
Ms. Schwagman,
Aye.
Mr. James.
Aye.
Mr. Larmer,
Yes.
Mr. Rosen.
Yes.
All right, next item is district update. Ms. West, it looks like it's your turn. If you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium for us, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, I have handed out the sheet that shows what our first quarter of 2023 came up with. You'll notice that it's substantially less than the first quarter of last year. We are finding, as we look through these various quarters, that we may be feeling something from people choosing to work from home. We had a lot of people in our particular district that were in the financial services field. It's very easy for them to do their job from home as opposed to coming to the office. I mean, we have strong returns, but just not what we were getting before. I don't think it's going down any further than it was, but I don't think we're going to have to rebuild again to get up to what we were collecting.
Yeah, I think when you look at the first quarter of a year ago, that was an anomaly. And I think that it probably is reflective
Yeah,
of the
that's true.
financial services industry. And you could have had big bonuses or something like that paid in that period, and that probably reflective of that.
That's true as well.
Yeah, because besides 2022, they're all pretty much on that standard. I mean, they're all right there.
Yeah.
I know at the last meeting you had mentioned that the refunds were about twice what they had been in previous years.
I don't really deal with the refunds,
Okay.
unfortunately. We have not given out as many for 22 returns as we gave out last year
Okay.
so far.
Okay.
The returns that came in April, we're not seeing a lot of requests for refunds.
Got it. Any additional questions? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Unless anybody has anything else, the next item on the agenda is the date of the next meeting.
Like our previous meeting, this one was scheduled for the day after Labor Day. And without being able to get a quorum together that day, we would like to change that meeting to August 29th at the same time, 4:15.
I move we do so.
Second,
Any discussion? Mr. Kellums?
Mr. Muething,
yes.
Ms. Schwagman,
Yes.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Mr. Larmer,
Yes.
Mr. Rosen.
Yes.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Move for adjournment.
Second.
Mr. Muething,
Yes.
Ms. Schwagman,
Aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Mr. Larmer.
Yep.
Mr. Rosen.
Yes.
Wonderful.
All right, it is now 4:19. This meeting is adjourned. We will see you on 8:29. It's 4:30 PM on Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. I'd like to call the Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood East meeting to order. Mr. Kellums, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Weedman, absent. Mr. Bourne, absent. Ms. Schwagman,
Present?
Mr. James,
Here.
Mr. Staubach,
Here.
Mr. Norton Smith, absent. 3 absent. We do not have a quorum, Madam Chairman.
Okay, no quorum. So we cannot proceed with this evening's meeting. I guess we will need to reschedule this evening's meeting.
We will,
Okay,
we'll get some dates out.
okay. So then I guess,
And
do I
then
need to
we'll have
ask for a
to-
motion to adjourn?
Can we vote on that? I move we adjourn, but I don't know if we can.
I don't know if we can even vote on that.
You're not.
We're just not going to proceed with the meeting?
Officially, you're not in the meeting. Yeah.
Okay, well. It's now 4:31. It's Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. I'd like to call the Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood Central meeting to order. Mr. Kellums, would you call the roll?
Mr. Weedman, absent. Mr. Bourne, absent. Ms. Schwagman,
Present?
Mr. James.
Here.
Mr. Staubach,
Here,
Mr. Norton Smith, absent. We do not have a quorum, Madam Chairman.
Okay, so no quorum. That means we cannot proceed with this evening's meeting and we will need to effort to reschedule it.
Yes.
circulate some dates. It is 4:32.